how can people, I mean, I guess you may be hitting both, but how can people raise capital safely so that they're not breaking any rules and also making sure that they're making sure their money partners are taken care of?
Yeah, this is so timely right now, isn't it? With
Mhm.
a number of matters going on in the courts, and there's also some things that are not yet in the courts. I've got a number of capital raising matters that are sort of sticking around my inbox, and so it's a really important topic. And what's the number one takeaway I want anyone who's tuning in today or watching our replay is that there's nothing inherently wrong or illegal about raising capital. This is how business is conducted in North America and Europe. Businesses raise capital. Where things get a little sticky is this is a regulated process. It's regulated by a number of different pieces of legislation, but the primary one is the Securities Act. And the Securities Act, if you take a look at the first section, the defined term section, it sets out a number of different terms that is used throughout the legislation and then defines those terms. And the most important one is a share, at least for the purpose of today's conversation. And the definition of a share is so broad, it can really be anything. It doesn't have to be a share in a corporation. And so what to take from that is if you're raising capital for a real estate deal, it's important that you get it right, that you make sure you stick within the regulations, that you get good accounting and legal advice so that you are playing within the boundaries of what's allowed and what's not. And what that means is we can't just start posting our deals on social media. I mean, we can. It's just that it's likely going to violate some of the rules. And I can tell you, I have an investor in my inbox at least monthly with a letter from the Securities Commission saying, hey, we think you've raised capital without doing any of the proper registrations. So we need your books and records. We need this, we need this, we need this, we need this. It's a very scary letter to receive. And it's scary for me as someone's counsel, who is getting this letter and saying, this is problematic. We should document first before we went about raising capital.